Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be looking at another budget projector. This one is the XIDU Philbeam S1. Projectors have always really fascinated me because they're a brilliant way to create enormous images, and the budget projector market gives us the opportunity of having a massive image. And if you take into consideration it has a true native 1080p resolution and around 550 ANSI lumens, that's actually a pretty damn good deal. But of course it's all down to how good it actually is in person, and that's the point of this video. So I'm going to get out of this box and then we're going to have a look at the actual device itself, and then we're going to have a play with it and see if it's cracked up to be. Right, let's have a look. And here it is, and I have to say this is probably one of the most beautiful projectors that I have seen, and it's certainly something that I wouldn't have a problem having in my living room. If you have a look at the actual projector itself, it is this really nice kind of coppery color, and I think they do it in a few different colors, but I really like this. Even in the design, the shape of it, it just looks really retro. It's quite stunning, really. Chrome around the main lens there, and you even have these big physical buttons up here, which also give it a bit of a retro feel. Now it does look really good, but on the flip side of that, the casing is kind of plasticky, and the buttons here also feel a little bit on the cheap side. But I'm just splitting hairs. It is a really nice looking device. On the back here we have a HDMI, we have an AV analog video input, we have a 3.5mm stereo audio output, and then we have two USB ports, and then we have the AC power input. And then on this side we have the wheel for focusing. Also in the box we get the remote control. So you can see they haven't cheaped out on the remote control. It is actually a really good quality one, a good sturdy one. It's not one of those cheap nasty thin ones that you get with some projectors. We also have a power lead and an analog video input, a fully color manual in multiple languages including English, which is very nice. And a nice little thank you note from them which also explains the warranty and how to get help. Alright, let's get this set up and see how good it is. And here we have the XIDU Philbeam S1 set up here in my living room. I'll just show you how I've got it set up. As you can see, the Philbeam S1 is just simply sitting on this tripod on my sofa, and what I have is an Xbox Series X which is connected to the HDMI ports underneath. I also have a 3.5mm jack taking the audio to my amplifier, although I will show you the internal speaker of course as well. Now setting up was very simple indeed. Obviously just pop it on a tripod. Focusing was done with the focus ring on the side of the projector, and keystone correction is done by going to the settings on the remote control, going down to projection image settings, and then 4-point keystone. And you do actually have the ability to do 4-point keystone correction. That is something that I particularly like about this particular projector. Now there's two variations of the XIDU Philbeam S1. You get the Android version and the non-Android version, and the version that I have is actually the non-Android version. It means I don't have the ability to install any apps on it as I would with an Android version. So really, to get the best out of this projector, you need to get yourself an Amazon Fire Stick or an Xbox Series X like I have here. Basically any media device plugged into a HDMI will give it all the features that you're looking for from a projector. If you don't want to deal with a separate media stick, then obviously you can get the Android version. This is the mirroring projector, and it's called the mirroring projector because it gives you the ability to wirelessly send video from your phone. It has Apple AirPlay, and it also has Miracast for Android, so you can wirelessly send images to the screen. One of the other cool features of this device is it can be used as a Bluetooth speaker. It does have that speaker built into it, and if you select soundbar from the menu up here, it puts the projector into Bluetooth speaker mode. And as you can see, you can just pair your phone to it and play music directly from the speaker. Other stuff we have on the screen at the moment is video, music, photo and office. So video, music and photo is just files that you can stick on a USB stick, plug into the projector, and the projector will play it back. And then Office Suite is a WPS Office application. So that's a Chinese-based Office application which allows you to wirelessly stream documents to this projector like an Office mode, which is cool if you use that piece of software. Then you have an analog video input and a HD video input, and that's primarily what I'm going to be using to demonstrate it, because I'm going to run the apps from my Xbox and show you what they actually look like on the screen so that we can talk about the image quality. So you can see it says HDMI 1080p HD input from the Xbox, because that is what it is. And it is a actual 1080p projector, so its native resolution is 1080p, and it does show when you play games and you look at text, you can see that the text is very, very fine indeed. It's not one of those dodgy 1080p compatible projectors. It is a native 1080p projector. Now, from a brightness perspective, it's 500 ANSI lumens, and this thing is actually quite bright. And what it gives is that contrast difference between the darks and lights, which really makes the image pop. So this actually has a fantastic image, and as you can see, I'm not in a dark room at the moment. There's quite a bit of ambient light in here, and the picture is still absolutely brilliant. But to do it justice, I will show you what it's like at its best with the lights off. And as you can see, especially in these dark scenes that we're looking at the moment, it really, really pops. You can see a significant amount of detail in the darkened areas of the image, and yeah, just such a great image. So sharp, lots and lots of detail in the image. So along with the contrast and brightness and resolution, the colors are also very, very vivid as well. There's lots of variation and contrast between the different colors, which just make everything pop and look absolutely stunning. But I'm sure you're all wondering about games, so let's boot up Far Cry 6 and have a game and see what it's like. And this is where you can see the true 1080p resolution, because the text in the top left hand side is pinpoint sharp, as is the text down in the corner here as well, and everything just looks really, really fine. But one of the most important things to talk about when it comes to gaming is latency, and that's the reaction time between when you press a button and the reaction actually happens on the screen. Some projectors can be very bad for latency, which means it makes them not very good for competitive gaming. So let's have a look and see how good this one is. So I'm going to press my button here, and we'll see how long it takes for the gun to fire. So it is a little bit of latency there, I don't know if you saw that, but the fact of the matter is it's playable. So we've talked about the picture, let's talk about the sound. Now there's different aspects of the sound that we need to talk about. So first of all, we'll talk about the internal speaker. Whilst it will never replace a proper sound system, it's actually fairly decent. So if you just wanted to use this projector as a portable projector and just have some audio to some video that you're throwing, that's absolutely fine. It will do exactly what you want it to do, and of course it has that added functionality of a Bluetooth speaker, so you could just stream from your phone directly to the projector and it will play that music for you. Now the second way that you can get sound out of the projector is of course through the auxiliary 3.5mm jack port, which is something which I was doing today. That just allows you to get the sound from the projector to an amplifier. So as you can see, I have these tower speakers, so the projector is feeding the tower speakers along with this big image, giving you a kind of proper cinema experience. You don't have to have massive speakers or anything expensive really. You can add some PC speakers, give yourself some stereo sound, anything really you can add, because it does have that sound output, which is great as well. The other thing to talk about with regards to sound is the audible sound that comes from the projector itself. As always, projectors have very high powered bulbs which get very hot, and they need active cooling, which requires a fan, and fans make noise. You can hear the fan that comes out of this, but it actually is not too bad. It's probably one of the quieter fans that I've heard. So what I'm going to do is run my decibel meter on the phone, and we'll see what the audible noise is in this room at the moment. So sitting where I am at the moment, it's about 37 decibels. which is not too bad at all, and it absolutely will be drowned out by any audio that you're going to be playing. So in conclusion, bright projector with native 1080p for only $289. Really good, and it is probably up there with one of the better 1080p projectors that I have reviewed. And that's pretty much it when it comes to this projector. If I've missed anything, please use the comment section below and I will answer any questions that you have as soon as possible. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel because there's lots more of these types of things coming up.